on a revenue margin plan. And this is again nice and intuitive. It's getting started. How do you submit? How do you approve? How do you update? How do you calculate? So if you want to introduce this plan information to help you navigate, to quickly contribute, they could be, but planning guidelines there as well. We've set you these inflation factors, or you need to operate within this policy. Anything that really kind of helps you move through this. And you can see what I've got is this is a driver-based plan. I've got a revenue dashboard which summarizes my position on my plan, so I'll quickly hop to that. You can see I've got a submittal for approval, so potentially any number of people could be contributing to their budget or their plan, and that could be going for approval and going through some workflow before it gets consolidated, maybe in corporate budgets. And again, at the same type of drop downs and the ability to sort of plan at whatever level you need to, and to have as many different plans as possible. So I could have a plan, I could have a what if. This could just be a sandpit, which I want to explore, for instance, what it would be to maybe update maybe a plan for a specific contract or client. You can see I'm actually planning at the client level as well here. So that's one of the beauties. None of this really just high level stuff, but we get down to planning by contract, by customer. And those can then drive even weekly targets, in which I could actually really start to manage the micro performance week by week. That's really powerful. So I've got a summarized position here, but this data from this report is actually being driven by these drivers. So you can see I can play with some volume adjustment. I can play with my contract and burden percentages. I can add maybe promotions as well, and I've got some base assumptions where I'll be using information pulled from maybe my ATS in terms of current margins, current hours performed by maybe temporary on assignment, and then I might be planning for those. I mean, we can obviously handle perms and all sorts of other things, and what all the different business models could be, but this is just a simple example to get you through that. I'm going to show you a volume adjustment here. I'm just going to do a quick one, and I'm going to show you how this can impact, not just to summarize here, but I can actually see the cause and effect right the way down to EBIT, my bottom line on my reports. So you can see here, I've just gone to some volume adjustment. This has given me a kind of total position in terms of my gross margin, what I could expect. This is for the Adair contract. And you can see I've got some planned percentages. And again, very much like Excel, what I'm going to show here is that I'm going to plan for a spike of 6% in April, but then I'm going to go to a 2%, but then I'm going to fall away in terms of my expectation on this contract by, say, 90%. And I'm going to, 90%, going to fall away times. And then I'm going to fall away for the remainder of the period, okay? And I'm going to update that. Now, immediately you can see the impact here, okay, of my change, and that's kind of rolled through. So it's impacted my all my key things. But if I go back to my revenue dashboard, you can see the result here as well. So it's highlighted the impact on my report at the reporting level. So I can see it to summarize position. I can see which months I've actually increased my performance, which months basically. Okay, so that impact analysis is very powerful. So just coming back to that revenue example. Sorry about that, guys. Also, like I said, here's an example of where we can budget for different margin rates. We can even add things like different promotions. So we can add new things. So if I added a spend here, for instance, I could add, maybe we're going to do a new campaign or promotion, support business with this particular client. So I could uplift those and show what the details are. I could go to my base assumptions. Here I'm pulling all the current temporaries and I'm playing around with their future hours. And I've got some ways to actually do adjustments and spreads at a higher level as well. And I'll come back to that with some top-down planning in a minute. So we can apply different rules that can splash results based on things like head count, on number of working days, and all sorts of things to develop a position. In my final report here, I have some plan and forecast comparatives, so I can quickly see the impact of my latest forecast compared with my budget, and obviously go back to my revenue dashboard. If I'm happy with this, submit for approval.